Welcome to the Big Biz Show, featuring insight, analysis, and a lot of stuff that's none of your business.
Hold on. This is the Big Biz Show. I think it is their business.
Making the markets work for you. Here's the man with the plan, Sully.
Hey there, live from the Loft 100 studios in sunny San Diego, California. Big Biz Show is on the air. Mike Costa, Mary Burt Godwin, and Greg Todoroff.
What do you want?
Does it all.
I'm not sure.
Well, you know, we were talking today that when Greg does talk, it is a zinger.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it is a big one.
Yeah.
It's almost like a sniper.
Yeah.
You know, like Bradley Cooper in the movie American Sniper. That's great.
Oh,
He's our version
I like
of,
that.
He's our version of E.F. Hutton.
He really is. Yeah.
Was E.F. Hutton funny?
No, but he was a sniper.
He was a sniper.
Yeah, he was American Sniper. Great to have you today. I want to kick it right off with, were you talking about Downton Abbey?
I sure was.
Are you a fan?
Loved
I'm
Downton
a
Abbey.
huge fan.
Dude, right there.
Yeah.
I was too, but what about the movie?
Movie was fine. I just got more of Downton Abbey.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
That's all.
I miss it.
It was just a,
Yeah.
It was a
because I
great
thought it was
show.
over.
It was so good.
The problem with
so
the
freaking
second
good.
movie
Yeah.
was the guy who lost so much weight. It was like, dude, come on, you're a fat baron. Hey, fat baron, you can't be like Winston Churchill all of a sudden show up.
Yeah, no, true.
I mean, seriously.
Captain's
True.
courageous.
I mean, there's something about like Luther Vandross, right, James? Like Fat Luther was way better than Skinny Luther all along, right? I mean, anything, even although I can't say fat. What's the gal who sang the 007 song? Super
Adele.
Fat.
Adele.
Was Fat Adele better than Skinny Adele?
No, Skinny Adele is everything.
Yeah.
I
But
just saw
imagine if
Skinny
Mama
Adele.
Cass Elliot back in the Mamas and the Papas, looked like, the slender James East, for example. You'd walk up the last day and go, what the heck, what happened?
She should be able to put a full sandwich down, though.
Oh, too soon?
Sorry.
Did she die from choking on a meatball or something?
Wait.
She did. She choked.
The mom was in
So
the.
now it's
She
hard.
choked on a $5 footlong, if I'm not mistaken.
Everyone's losing weight now because of Ozempic and all.
What is
these-
Ozempic again?
It's the shot that you get.
Yeah, I hear that's
for
a bad
people-
thing.
Yeah.
I hear
well,
you
it's-
lose muscle mass and there's all kinds of.
I saw a picture of a side-by-side on social media of a guy who lost 200-something pounds on Ozempic, and now he's soliciting people in a GoFundMe to help for the get rid of the
Shih Tzu?
excess skin.
The Shih Tzu?
Oh,
Yeah,
God.
yeah.
Well,
Surgery.
You start looking like when you wave your arms wave back. Maybe you had a little too much.
You look like a flying
much of the-
squirrel.
Look at Mary's laughing for the first time in the entire show. Can you see-
Today.
Oh my God.
It's so true.
It's true.
You wave.
She starts waving her arms.
I got it right now. Jeez.
Hey, would you ever get, well, first of all,
The
you're slender.
bingo. It's called
you
a
are-
bingo wing, is what it's called.
The bingo wing. No kidding.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Bingo
You
wing.
hear that?
Mary Bird
Bingo.
Godwin, the bingo wings.
Bingo.
Opening up the Mira Mesa Bowl.
That's
But
what we wanted to
who's
know
the
in high school.
manufacturer of this Ozempic thing? Is it like a Pfizer drug? Is it a Catalent drug?
That's
Is
a
it
good question. I don't
a
know that
SmithKline
answer.
Glaxo?
But there's several of them on the
Isn't there
market
like
now.
3?
GLP-1 is
Yes.
what it's called.
Really?
Yes.
Well,
and they
apparently
serve for
there's
diabetes.
right, and there's a shortage for the people who need it
Yes.
Yes.
for their diabetes
Yes.
because it's turned into this
Is it a Hollywood
craziness
thing? Like somebody wants to get rid
for
of
weight loss.
Yeah.
Right. So now
Oprah,
there's a shortage because
all sorts of, I would say, Megan Trainor. She's coming to my mind. I don't know for sure.
The one
Mindy Kaling, I think.
The one
don't
thing
know.
I read about it was, pardon me, is that it slows down your digestion so you feel fuller.
Yes.
Isn't this like the guy from RSLS, from Relay Shape, to
Yeah.
make you feel full?
well, that's
Lap band
probably a much better way
Right.
to approach it, I would assume.
I mean, better health through chemistry is not a problem. I don't have a problem. It's like technology.
It's expensive too.
Is it really?
It's $1,000 a month.
What?
You get one shot every week, $250.
No, but you can't take it forever because you
No,
disappear.
it's like a year, I think. I don't know. 6
You know what's a lot cheaper? Let's say this is Golden Corral. Just push back.
Yeah.
It's a
away.
lot cheaper.
Push away.
Push it back.
Pushed away.
I like that.
This segment brought to you
And you
by
can push up it.
Golden Corral and Hometown Buffet and Sir George's Smorgasbord in the local area of San Diego, Chula Vista, Mira Mesa, and Gary, Indiana. Big Biz Show back in a moment.
Very good.
Loft 100 Studios. Must mean it's the Big Biz Show. Wherever you're watching, wherever you're listening, thanks for being along for the ride in over 175 countries. All the ships at sea on the American Forces Network. Thank you all the men and brave women in the United States Armed Forces for what you do. Costa, Marybird Godwin, Greg Todoroff, Sully.
I don't know how we got on that. I don't know how we got on the Ozempic. Oh, I think we did because we were talking about
Mama Cass.
no Downton Abbey.
Oh, Downton Abbey.
Oh yeah, the guy lost weight.
A big hello to the Day Trader Trio. They sound so good every single time.
Yes, they do.
Nice to see you guys. Okay, so what were you chirping about? On
Well,
the break?
so at the end of that segment, you said something about Gary, Indiana, which immediately makes my mind
Music
go
Man.
to music.
Gary, Indiana.
So, which made me think of this
Robert
thing
Preston.
that has come up that is my ideal night of fun, and you're all gonna laugh at me, but you might like this. It is
Will
called
you sing along?
It's called a Broadway rave, and theater geeks around the world go to
Excuse me.
a club, and they play.
Gotta dance.
Yeah, no, they play Hamilton and Rent and all Wicked and all of the. No, I'm gonna go. I'm buying my tickets
Wait.
today.
So what's the
August
difference
8th.
between watching at home with all your friends?
You go into a big club and imagine, you're like in a club, you're singing whatever your favorite song is with the band. You're singing live music,
Let me tell you why this happened. I know why this happened. I'm 100%.
to make my dreams come true.
No, I'm 100% why this happened. So there is a new resurgence. And by the way, I will tell you that my guilty pleasure now is listening to the ABBA channel on Pandora.
Oh,
So good.
I'm not kidding. It is, because it's not just ABBA, but it's the greatest Pandora channel. So, but the bottom line is, so the musical comedy, or they call it musical theater now,
Yes.
ABBA,
yes.
is out and about internationally.
Yes.
Okay? And they have a seating pattern whereby there is seating, but ahead of the seating is the pit. You can buy tickets to the pit. And what do you think happens in the pit?
Mosh pit.
Singing,
Singing.
dancing. It's a cocktail party
with
with theater people. So as the people are performing, the ABBA people. So it's like, okay, I get. So when we
A lot
were,
of jazz hands.
oh my goodness, and
But
and
just
sequence,
like passionate,
and sequence.
emoting.
Oh,
So when
Hitch
I
kicks.
went to what you call them?
Hitch kicks.
Oh, hitch kicks.
Hitch kicks.
I'm gonna say.
Travis Kelce just
Like
did
a Michael Vick thing or something. I'm not really. So, referring to the dog fighting.
Wow.
So when I was in Europe, it was ABBA. I'm sorry. What was the movie? It's called
Mamma Mia.
Mamma Mia.
Yeah.
Was in 2 different places in London, big city.
Yep.
Wow.
2 big theaters.
Yep.
I think the Savoy was one of them. And out front was nothing but middle-aged women. Okay, with sequins. And they were like 4 at a time. And I think there were, I didn't see many men.
Yeah.
I don't see any men that were drug in there. There was some men that went because they wanted to go.
I would go sober because I am sober. I would stay all night and sing every last
So
one.
I think that's sort of where this
Hamilton.
came from.
And also like the fact that Hamilton reached such a wide audience,
Mm-hmm.
people like to sing along to their favorite musical. You don't get to do it when you're watching the show. This is
So
pure
have you
joy.
seen the latest thing on Netflix or Apple TV?
Which is?
If you rent Pitch Perfect, there's now also you can rent Pitch Perfect Sing.
Oh.
Where as the
My God.
movie's going on, the karaoke word's going across the screen.
That's so
So I think this is a. Is that a guilty
all
pleasure?
3 Pitch Perfect?
Oh my God.
I will tell you, I do think there's something really cool about a cappella, because and that's something
That
I
is
would have been
such a-
involved in high school.
It is
college.
such
would
a
have
talent.
loved that.
But it's just because
Acapella.
musically the acapellas,
Yeah.
me and Mike and the tone benders, it is simply something. I mean, the guys up on stage.
Would any of you guys go with me to a theater
No,
rave?
maybe,
Broadway rave.
I'm going to say
No?
the one person that would be Mark
Jason would.
Hattersley. Mark, you would, James?
JB.
Well, so I think this is a new business model.
Sure.
Because you're going to have, they're going to have the Broadway theater folks that want the pure experience.
Yes.
But now you have available on Blu-ray, right? Here's a whole nother way to do
Did you say Blu-ray?
Well, yeah, I'm just saying another way to consume the musical.
Yep.
Is I don't want to just sit there in my seat.
I want to sing
I
with
want to sit there and
other.
sing with them.
I want to sing with other.
I wonder if it takes a different type of performer. Because you don't start performing. I mean, you start playing guitar as a kid, what, Brian, to get the girls back in 7th, 8th grade, right? Me too. But then after a while, you perform because you like to perform. Okay, you like the business of making music and performing. I'm not sure I'm performing, although maybe it's just like a big rock star guy who has the crowd singing with him.
Sure.
Right? But this seems like not only a trend, but like a money-making trend.
Big time.
For sure.
So I'm
going to go August
what are you
17th.
looking?
Maybe Devin should come and follow me with
Oh
the
my God, he
camera.
should.
Oh my
Why
lord.
don't you get a group down there?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to find as many theater geeks.
I don't think you need theater. I think you need a few people here in the studio.
Yeah.
So you can get David Comatoy, one of our executive producers.
you wanna
can
do
get
it here in
JB, who's our floor director here.
No to go.
Hey, those guys will go in a New York minute. Costa's going to be there.
I feel like you would sing every song.
I wouldn't,
Because
though.
you know.
I'm not a crowd person, you know me. I'm not down in the crowd thing. I'd be in the back.
All right,
I don't do that. I don't like that kind of attention. I like it as long as I'm in front. I either want all of it or none of it.
None of it.
Oh, true.
You know, it's
Well,
true.
I'd be
When I
singing.
walk out on the street and stuff, I don't like that. I don't know why I don't like it. This is weird for me. But if I'm on stage, yeah, sure. Hey, let me. Now, what's the first show you're going to?
Yeah, what do you mean? This is called.
Is it a combination
it's a
of all
combination.
music?
They just
Oh,
play, it's like
okay.
a club where they play different music, but they play different things.
I like it better. Like you're going to go to the show, like ABBA.
No,
do
it's
the whole
gonna-
damn show so you can sing
Yeah.
along to everything.
No, but you're going to hear Hamilton. You're
No,
going
but
to
let me tell you why
Rent.
that would be better. I think because you have a whole crew of people.
Right.
And then Mary stands up for "Gotta Dance," and then Mike stands up for a different song.
Everything's coming up.
Yeah, right,
roses.
exactly right.
Yeah.
That's you. And then
That's
there's
gonna be
another,
me.
but there's always the ingenue song, and then there's the whole crowd
course.
song, and so then you
they
have
probably
different
do
people
groups.
popping up in your group that will stand up and sing
That's
with
good.
the person, I'm Alexander Hamilton.
Right.
Okay, not everybody's gonna stand up and sing that song.
Have you seen it, by the way?
About 6 times.
Okay, good.
Very good.
You?
Yep.
I like one of my favorite stories about Hamilton is when and forgive me, what is the name of the composer again? He's very
Lin-Manuel Miranda.
Yeah. He somehow had this idea. I'm gonna do a rap version of Hamilton
Jeez.
using
read the
all
book.
people of color.
Yeah.
And he told Michelle Obama, and she's like, "Yeah, good luck with that." That was it. But he performed.
She poo-pooed it?
No, she didn't poo-poo it. He was performing at the honors,
The
Kennedy
ceremony
Center.
at the.
Kennedy Center, and he got a chance to meet them. And he thought, "I'm going to try the song. Nobody's heard it. This is what I'm doing." And off stage, he said that, and she's all, "Good luck with that." Well, look what it turned out to be.
Oh my God.
Have you guys seen Hamilton? It's
Yes.
fantastic, right? I mean, and the thing is, it would be called back in days of opera recitative, where there is no dialogue. It's all,
All singing.
It's all singing
Yeah.
the whole time, which is very good.
It's genius.
Jesus Christ Superstar was the same thing.
I never
That's one of
saw
the-
that.
What?
I listened to the album.
Andrew Lloyd
before.
Wright, you didn't
Remember I met
you
Ted
didn't watch the
Neely?
original one.
I met Ted
when he was
Neely, the guy who
95.
played Jesus. Yeah. He sang to me. Okay, this is.
Welcome to the Big Biz Show, also known as
I was gonna
Theater
say-
Moment.
Can we have a
Yeah,
theater moment every episode? Because
No.
I am full of joy right now. I am so happy.
So this is going to be a rave club with all things. Well, they play like Oklahoma and
Maybe.
in my fair.
There's a bright
Maybe.
golden haze on the meadow.
What was the name of the character? Curly,
Yeah.
Oh, that's
right?
Rod Serling?
No, the name of the
No,
character
Steiger.
was Curly.
Oh, Curly, right.
You remember,
I actually
remember,
never
remember who
seen
played
that
the
one.
part?
Gordon McRae.
Howard Keel was the first person to play the part.
Oh, okay. I was going by the movie.
Howard Keel and Jordan McRae were the two that shared all of
Gotcha.
the male leads.
A very young,
Yeah.
voluptuous Shirley Jones, mother of
and
the
all the
Partridge
men's
Family.
all the men's pants were up to here.
Yes, of
I don't know what that was all about.
She was also in Music Man, Shirley Jones.
She
played-
was?
She
She
was.
played
Yeah, she
Madam
was-
Librarian.
Yes.
Oh, you got a little Ron
Marion.
Howard with the lisp.
Yeah.
Librarian, the librarian, and Robert Preston as the music.
Yes.
That's right.
Professor Harold Hill. Harold
Capital
Hill.
T that rhymes with P and that stands for pool.
And all sweet song, a river street, you'd be chittering around my, your street, you'd be chittering.
Put her around there sometime.
Short
Time too.
Put the ball in the pocket. Never mind the dogs. Yeah, it's
Wow.
it's the thing.
Thank you for indulging me. This was just.
So is there?
How about that, Greg?
I could have taken a nap.
I think you fell asleep there for a minute.
Greg's over there with toothpicks in his eye.
When is the last time you went to any sort of indulge? Does anybody in your family would indulge? Would you be indulging anybody by going to anything like that?
Nothing. No.
Nobody
no
wants
one.
to go. Nobody wants to go there.
No. I mean, I
Hollis
think my
is not-
mom. My mom was
Hollis
a
isn't into
singer and all that.
I
stuff,
wouldn't do
but
that.
She
unless-
probably loves.
Like I
theater,
wouldn't go. It wouldn't be. Hey, I know. Let's do this. But I could get. I would be interested to seeing what.
Sure.
I'd like to sit in the back and watch you all.
Oh my God.
Like.
You would never look at me the same
Is
again.
it in
because
San Diego?
I just.
Is it in San
get-
Diego?
Yes, it's downtown.
It's here in town.
San Diego. Yes, in August.
Maybe we could get some media passes and do a thing on it.
Oh
Get
my
backstage.
God. Go talk to the
Get you get
people
talk to the
and stuff.
people.
Okay, we're on it. Well, I'm on
I
it.
think that's your thing.
Where are we on opera? Straight opera.
I've never been.
Johnny Skiki, Verdi.
Oh, God, it is.
You can't do it?
Yeah.
La Boheme.
Right.
La vie bohème.
Madame Butterfly, all that.
Can't do it.
No.
What about ballet? I'd take an opera versus
I
ballet.
love ballet.
Oh, I would say, yeah, any
take
day
it
of the
over
week.
ballet.
Yeah.
Hence musical comedy. It's how they got the men into theaters. All right, big show. You got a public company with the stock symbol EVAX coming up. Stand by. They're in the business of life science. Talk about it 1 second. Big Biz Show, bigbizshow.com. Don't go here.
Loft 100 Studios. It is the Big Biz Show. Costa, Mary Bert Godwin, Greg Todoroff, our musical theater expert and critic, and of course Sully.
If you had to,
Yeah.
could we send you to Hamilton?
Oh.
I think you'd
Yeah,
enjoy
I'd
Hamilton.
probably go just to see what all the excitement's about.
Christian Kanstrup is the CEO of a company called Evaxion. Evaxion, I think I'm saying that right. Stock symbol EVAX, as I mentioned earlier in the program today. They are a critical stage tech bio company based upon the, get this, AI immunology platform. And of course, one of our favorite things to do in the program here is when we get people that are shareholders of the company or familiar with the company, contacting Greg and saying, hey, you got to get these guys on the air, because of course we get to interview everybody from customer service experts to authors to actors to singers to musical theater people coming up apparently to CEOs of public company. And I give you Christian Kanstrup. Christian, great to have you. Long day. Welcome. And sorry we couldn't get your Chief Scientific Officer, Brigitte Renee, but apparently we don't have any audio from her. But good to have you along, sir. How are you?
I am good. How are you? And thank you so much for having me on. I've been looking very much forward to this, so it's a pleasure to be here.
Hey, listen, I've got a question. Can you talk to us? I mean, we interview a fair amount of companies, both public and private, some in the biopharma, biotech. But when you talk about AI and you talk about immunology, this is something that is tip of the spear. Can you give us an overview and talk about what exactly you're covering there?
Well, I mean, what we exactly cover is actually what we set out to do 2008 when the company was formed. The two co-founders, they decided we are going to use AI to decode the human immune system with the objective of developing new medicines. So in principle, what we are covering the whole process from the discovery of novel vaccine targets towards the design of the vaccine into the development of novel vaccines. So you can say in essence, our AI immunology platform is I would say, sophisticated AI machine learning platform set out with the objective of decoding the human immune system to be able to develop novel medicines.
Give us a history of this company, because obviously it couldn't have started in the AI direction, because AI is sort of new to all of us. But talk about the history.
Yeah, well, as I said, I mean, it's quite interesting because the company was founded back in 2008 with the objective of using technology. It was not called AI at that point in time, but using computer-based models to develop novel medicines. And I think it's fair to say at that point in time, I mean, everybody were looking at the two co-founders, smiling a little bit, thinking that's not really possible. Then you can say, of course, fast forward to today, the world is completely different. Now everybody is talking about using AI for drug development. And that's where our advantage is, that we have had a 15-year head start with the objective of developing this AI immunology platform. And we have been constantly refining and developing that platform over the past many years.
Christian Kanstrup is the CEO of Evaxion, the ticker symbol EVAX. Christian, can you talk to us about the lead vaccine candidate, EVX-01? Right now, I believe it's in stage 2 development.
Yeah, I'll be happy to, and that's exactly correct. EVX-01 is our lead candidate, which is a personalized cancer vaccine targeting metastatic melanoma. Yep. And here you have the AI immunology platform, which for each individual patient, based upon a tumor biopsy and the resulting DNA sequence, is designing the targets that needs to go into that vaccine with the objective of exactly developing a vaccine that is perfectly tailored for that individual patient. And of course, by having a individualized and personalized approach, we are hoping to create efficacious vaccines for that individual patient.
Wow. Hey, Christian, I have to say, as we're looking at the FDA sort of arc of the story there, you're getting close. Talk about where we are all the way through, because it seems like you're at the door here for either a risk-averse solution where somebody else takes over and takes it to the goal line, or you guys take it to the community itself. But talk about that a little bit about FDA.
No, I mean, I think it's clear when we look at not only FDA, but the regulatory authorities across the world, there's an openness towards the concept of personalized medicine, right? And if you look at Evaxion, we actually have fast-track designation from the FDA, hence additional support in the whole regulatory pathway. So you can say where one could be concerned about this being a novel and a completely new treatment paradigm, then I think the regulatory authorities are definitely supportive of bringing these type of personalized medicines to the market. So clearly something which is exciting, not only from our point of view, but even more so from a patient point of view, of course, being able to bring these tailored personalized medicines to the market.
We've heard about melanoma for many, many years, but now we're talking about metastatic melanoma. And we're talking about how serious it is because at some point we thought it was as simply as applying sunscreen and staying outside, but it's getting much worse due to many things, including environmental problems. Talk about the addressable market here.
Yeah, no, I mean, if we look at the metastatic melanoma market alone, that's going to be around, say, $7.5 billion by end of this decade. And of course, when we're talking about immunotherapy broader, here we are talking about a market which is close to $300 billion by the end of the decade. So unfortunately, you can say cancer, despite all the advancements that we have seen in treatment of cancer, remains a huge challenge. And I mean, we're seeing 10 million deaths a year due to cancer, which is of course way too much, and hence also why I'm super proud that we are developing a completely novel approach to help improve survival rates of cancer.
Hey, Christian, I've got to ask, and I know you can only be so specific being a CEO of a public company as to what you can tell us, but talk about the next 12 months. What are you looking forward to most for the rest of 2024, going into 2025 as we get to the first half of the year mark?
No, I mean, the next 12 months are going to be super exciting. I think we are at an exciting point in time in the Evaxion journey. And first of all, I mean, now we talked about EVX-01 in phase 2. Here we will have the 1-year readout of that phase 2 in the third quarter of this year. And the data we have seen so far looks really promising. We just presented some data at ASCO early June, and hence, of course, looking very much forward to seeing the clinical efficacy data in the third quarter of this year. Then we have a collaboration with Merck on designing or discovering and designing a novel vaccine within infectious diseases. That first phase is going to conclude in the second half, and then we are going to bring that into the next phase. Also super excited about that. Just like we not only are working on the personalized vaccine concepts, we are also developing a quite novel precision vaccine concept where we, based upon a novel source of targets, are developing what we hope to be highly efficacious precision-based vaccine. So I think a lot to be excited about, not only for us as a company, but definitely also for the patients that we're here to help improve their lives every day.
Well, listen, I would like to have you back as early as next week, because I'd also love to talk to Brigitte Renaud, your Chief Scientific Officer as well, if you guys are willing to come back. I want to talk about more about this, because you're talking about an addressable market the size of 3.5 United States population.
Unbelievable.
His name, Christian Kanstrup. The name of the company is Evaxion, stock symbol EVAX. That's EVAX, saving and improving lives with AI immunology. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. More Big Biz coming up.
Loft 100 Studios, The Big Biz Show, our affiliates, and our hosts are not registered investment advisors or broker-dealers.
Our show hosts make no commitment that the purchase of securities of companies profiled or otherwise mentioned in our programming
are suitable or advisable for any persons, or that investment in such securities would be profitable in general.
Given the nature of our company's profile and the lack of an active trading market for their securities, and investing is highly speculative and carries a high degree of risk. We profile selected publicly traded and privately held companies on our program.
Most of these companies that we profile have provided compensation to Loft 100 Studios and its host for the profile coverage.
3, 2, 1. From time to time, we sell shares of the companies profiled in the open market that we receive as compensation for coverage of client companies.
But never sell stock if we are speaking about, interviewing, or covering a public company who has paid compensation.
Specific questions on compensation can be obtained by contacting producer at sullyandgroup.com.
Listeners should verify all claims and do their own due diligence before investing in any securities mentioned on this program.
Investing in securities is speculative and carries a high degree of risk.
We encourage our investors to invest carefully. Duh.
And read the investor information available on the website.
On the Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC, at www.sec.gov.
Or the Financial Industry Regulatory Authority, FINRA, at www.finra.org.
Oh my God.
Man.
It is the Big Biz Show for the Loft 100 Studios, a.k.a. The Moon. Costa Godwin, Greg Conrad, and Sully.
Our next guest, and I think, Greg, someone contacted you about a company called LifeWard.
Right.
LifeWard, I beg your pardon.
LifeWard.
Their stock symbol LFWD. And just as I'm talking here, look at some of the B-roll footage we have from them, just so you can sort of see here what they are calling redefining possible. And being so connected here almost on a weekly basis with some of our friends that come to the studio all the time with prosthetic limbs and with in sports wheelchairs. We're seeing what looks like here an exoskeletal sort of arrangement here, where these folks are now not only participating but actually ambulatory on their own. And one of the biggest things that happens is if you are born with some challenge like this, it's one situation. But if you are suddenly found paralyzed or missing a limb, and in some cases, you are now finding yourself as an adult dependent on your parents again. Okay, that's the sad truth. You've heard Bob Babbitt at Challenge Athletes Foundation talk about it a lot of times. This changes everything. We got the CEO of LifeWard. His name is Larry Jasinski, here to talk about it. Once again, LFWD. They're publicly traded. You can go to GoLifeWard.com, but I'm going to bring him on there and let him talk about this. This is remarkable stuff, Larry. Thanks for coming on the air with us, pal.
Thanks for having us. Pleasure to be here.
It's good stuff. So listen, you are calling this the Rewalk Personal Exoskeleton. I mean, we just saw, explain what we're looking at here, because this is truly RoboCop. This is life-changing. This is not only ambulatory, but this equals independence for a lot of folks.
This is a system which can't walk by itself. The person cannot walk, but it's a human and machine interface that allows someone everyday life. They can walk down the street. We've had people do marathons in it. We don't encourage it. We don't discourage it. Go live your life. What it does is it gives ambulation back. It gives the ability to go up and down staircases. It is a way to improve your mental and physical health. We're thrilled that something big has changed for us too in the past 60 days. These are now accessible.
And this is criteria specific to spinal cord injury, and it's your own personal exoskeleton. Right. My first question is it just for adults at this point, or is this made to order for even minors, children, and such?
The FDA labeling is for 18 years and older. So we are a product that presently is on label for adults, and that's who's paid, where it's paid for.
Larry, what was the genesis of this? Was it a as I always say, you hit your head and then you wake up and go, wait, I can make the flux capacitor, just like in Back to the Future. What was the seminal moment where you figured, hey, we can do this?
Well, the genesis came from experience. I'm the operator, CEO of the company. The gentleman who invented the initial product was a prolific inventor, an electrical engineer named Dr. Amit Gopher. He was out with his children, just like any one of us may be. He had an accident on an all-terrain vehicle, and he was paralyzed. And he hated the lifestyle. Wheelchairs have been the standard for 2,000 years. And he set about to build a product, first in his home, and then with help with some universities, that could allow someone independence and freedom and walking and better health. So the genesis of this being a prolific engineer who was suddenly paralyzed and understood the limitations where he wanted some of that freedom back, that individuality of living his life, where he wanted to go and when he wanted to go there. And that made a better product. My role was finishing the mechanics of the product, getting it through the FDA, and most importantly, at the end, getting access by getting it paid for.
Larry Jasinski, the CEO of LifeWard, ticker symbol LFWD, with us here on the Big Show today.
One of the issues that we discovered with our support of Challenge Athletes Foundation is if someone finds himself injured, most insurance companies will purchase a walking leg or a wheelchair or something, but nothing that has to do with athletics is considered a luxury. You are quite different on this. Exoskeletons have gotten the nod from Medicare and Medicaid services. How are we looking on the path of insurance coverage as well?
Well, this is hugely important. First, 56% of all people in the United States who are paralyzed are either Medicare or Medicaid. And also, typically, working with the private payers is much easier once you have Medicare coverage. We've been at this for, it's not a sudden thing. It's 60 days ago now since we got the agreement for final pricing with Medicare. But it was 5 years of building a lot of data through randomized trials and economic analysis studies. And then it was 5 years working with CMS. And on April 12th of this year, they set a price and they started providing them for patients.
And that is a huge milestone. It's as big of a milestone as getting FDA approval, in my opinion, is getting access to this, because suddenly now you can have physicians that can now prescribe this to their patients. I mean, for a ReWalk personal exoskeleton on an RX pad that you take to Larry's manufacturing, that's going to get paid for. I mean, that changes everything, Larry, and it's a precedent for a lot of other issues in terms of people with challenges. Talk about what's next in terms of what are we shooting for next in terms of technology? What are you shooting for next in terms of things like Medi-Cal, Medicaid, and insurance?
Well, initially, we've got to implement well. We are very focused right now on educating physicians as who works for this product, what the indications are and the exclusion criteria are, teaching them that it can get paid for, and helping them through the process. So there's an implementation phase of helping the community, and that's our most important mission here going in the short term. This is a product which will always have generational improvements. We're in version 7 or 6, and we have a version 7 that is now going into FDA for clearance. There'll always be improvements in these, bringing in additional technologies, and that is for the spinal cord injured community that is complete or incomplete. In the future, we have variants in this design, exosuits, that may help a stroke patient, an MS patients, and other populations. So you will see these home exoskeleton type devices a big part of our future, and opening that first store with Medicare and with the FDA prior to that is what it took to lead through this industry, and it is an exciting industry now for the future.
Wow, Larry, this is so fascinating and so encouraging for what we have to look forward to in our community. And I also want to ask about the anti-gravity treadmill that I was reading about. Can you talk about that?
Sure. Well, first, our company, our characterization, our DNA is innovation. The anti-gravity treadmill is somewhat like what it sounds like. You can see that picture on the screen now. It allows you to off-weight your body for faster recovery. It's for professional athletes. It's for people that are in clinics that have an ACL tear or an injury of some type. But it's also for people that are looking for things for improving their health. Someone who has weight is such that they can't put all their weight in their bones. In this device, they could take off 50 or 75% of the weight and walk as much as they want and improve their health. We also believe this will apply for neuro indications, for patients who've had a stroke and need a safe way to walk and relearn those neural pathways for walking. So this system, it starts on NASA. And the whole original idea was to put weight on your bones so you wouldn't lose density on long space trips. This is the opposite. We sense 100 times a minute what the air pressure is in this device to lift the person up to a precise level. So if you're, say, a pro athlete, that's one of our 3 segments. This will go at your speed. If you're working in a clinic and going through rehab, we have a product for that, and we also have a product for the smaller home clinics, which is a new one we just launched.
I want to walk around on this every day, just personally. Off-weight. His name is Larry Jasinski. Larry, I want to have you back. We need you for longer next time. Will you come back on the air with us and we can spend a little more time with you? I think it'd be fantastic for you guys.
I would like to come, and I'd like to bring a couple people walking with me.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Come with us.
Yep.
Absolutely. His name is Larry Jasinski, CEO of LifeWard. LFWD is their stock symbol, LFWD. And you can go to golifeward.com. Wow. Wouldn't you like to see that happen? Oh, my Fantastic. God. Todorov hits another home run. Yeah.
Boom.
All right. Much more to come. Big Biz Show. Stand by.
It is the Big Biz Show. We are coming to you live from Southern California, the Loft 100 studios. Wherever you're watching, wherever you're listening, we certainly appreciate you being along for this glorious ride. I am Costa. The girl sitting next to me, the woman, is Mary Godwin. Our executive producer is right there, Mr. Greg Todorov, and of course, Sully behind the bar.
Did I hear you say something about pork rinds? And little green peanuts.
Okay.
Which I believe they call pistachios, if I'm not mistaken.
Stop the presses.
Day Trader Trio up there. Let's not stop them for too long.
No, sorry.
Thank you every day for the DTC.
Yep.
So did I hear somebody say something about 5 handfuls of chicharrinos?
Well, I asked these two if they've ever tasted the tahine flavored pork rinds.
Okay, I think it should be started by has anybody ever eaten deep fried pig skin fat? Fair question.
No.
No.
Oh, okay. You guys never had a chicharron.
I've never had one in my life. I can't get myself
out of here.
I can't get myself to do it.
No.
I can't.
DTT, raise your hand if you've had pork rinds. Of course.
James is a vegetarian.
Yeah,
That's
real
crap.
men. Look at that right there. Anyhow,
James, who doesn't eat sugar nor meat, brings in meat pies and jelly donuts every day to the studio. He's trying to kill off the rest of us.
You're right. You're right. It's the Mexican spice mixture tahine.
Tahine, I know what that is. It's that they put on the fruit.
Rim of a glass or whatever.
Well, there you go. Boom. It goes to margarita.
Automatically.
But they have now, they put those on pork rinds.
Are they wonderful? Really?
Yeah.
And what were you talking? Now, did you mix them with pistachios?
No. They also have tahine.
Tahine pistachios.
Which are delicious.
I think tahine is basically Lowry seasoning salt, a little bit of chili powder, and some dehydrated lime.
Yeah.
I think
maybe a little fiberglass. You never know.
Fiber, you never know. Yeah, depends.
But Greg said after 5 handfuls.
Handfuls.
Like, wow, these are really
of those little, what are those little green peanuts called? I believe they're called pistachios. Listen, totally off topic. Brian Kobel, or as Greg likes to say, Kobel. Because the CEO of TC Biopharm is saying it wrong. Brian Kobel is the CEO of TC Biopharm Holdings. They are publicly traded under the stock symbol TCBP. He's become a friend. He's become part of the show, and lots of stuff happening, going all the way back to the TCB 008 lead product to a couple of other inflection points. But lots of stuff going on with the company here. He's back in the States. We're going to see him in the next couple of weeks in studio.
What?
At least that's the rumor, isn't it? Kobel?
That is the rumor. I'm gonna whatever the opposite of grace is, you guys with my presence.
Can I say this out loud? Because we've interviewed you a dozen times, and I think only once or twice in the States. Mary, does he have way better color here in the States? Like he's got a little bit of sunshine? Like maybe not spend all your time in Scotland, man?
Yeah.
Because you look like a Southern California guy that's surfing early morning and late night right now. So you look fantastic. Welcome back to the States here. Other than
it's good to be back on U.S. soil.
Hey, give us, I haven't talked to you in a couple weeks. Give us a bit of an overview. What's the latest here? I know a couple things are happening for you. There's a couple of milestones, a couple of changes coming up. I'll let you just take over here for a minute.
Yeah, year's going well. Obviously, we have the restart of the Achieve trial coming on. So we've got 2 of the sites open, recruiting and enrolling right now. So we should be dosing our first patient in the restart shortly. We have 2 more patients right behind. We're also looking at additional site expansions there. So we should be bringing on some additional hospitals to treat more patients. Actually, Lauren Bohr and our development team just announced a couple weeks ago that they've cracked the code a little bit. So we should be able to increase our manufacturing yield by 80% plus and actually drop the cost by about 80% as well. So we're talking about an extremely affordable allogeneic therapy for oncology. And now we're looking at expansion into NK cells and other CAR products that we can layer onto our allo gamma delta to start attacking solid tumors and autoimmune diseases.
Brian, is that cracking the code one of the bigger inflection points looking at last year and halfway through this year?
100%. I mean, if you look at the concerns around cell therapy from a market perspective, an investor perspective, an acquisition perspective, one of the big issues is manufacturing. How do you do it commercially at scale? How do you do it where you're not charging millions of dollars for these patients to receive this therapy because they can't afford it? And how do you do it in a manner where you're not Xing out about 80% of the people that actually have these diseases? So the ability to crack the code of manufacturing on an allogeneic basis is massive for the organization. It's big for the industry as a whole. So it's a really exciting time, and lucky to have the development team that we have just in there grinding away every day.
Why are you guys as a company to be watched in the gamma delta and cell therapy space? Why? Because you've talked about this one of the first times, and it's a pretty compelling answer. Talk about why you guys, bigger, better, faster, stronger. What's the tiebreaker here?
There's a couple reasons why you want to focus on TCB. One is just that dynamic around manufacturing. If you got the CDMOs, if you're doing this outsourced, you're going to have a lot of issues, I think, relative to access to your actual product and getting a high-end product.
We lost him there. Finish. Go ahead and finish, Brian. We just lost your signal.
I was going to say, being early in the allo space, right? Being donor-derived versus being patient-derived gives us a product that is healthier. It's a more activated cell. It's an angry cell. It wants to go and kill solid tumors. It wants to kill blood cancers. It wants to kill viral and fungal diseases. So having access to an allo product, which you can deliver off the shelf, is massive compared to waiting a month as a patient or 2 weeks. If you look at autologous companies, they talk about shortening the time. You can't get a shorter time than going to the fridge and thawing it.
No, it's true. I should have read this earlier. Jeff Ward from Phoenix, Arizona gave us an email last time we were on there talking about the definition of allogenic gamma delta. We should have brought that up at the beginning. Can you give another plain vanilla definition of what we talk about when we talk about gamma deltas?
100%. Definition of allogeneic gamma delta is we find young, healthy donors who have a high number of gamma deltas in their system. And gamma deltas are an immune cell. It's your first responder. It's typically a relatively small percentage unless you have an infection, a fever, or if you're just super healthy. And we isolate that cell in this patient's leukopak or blood pack. We expand that particular type of cell into the hundreds of millions and into the billions. We then take that donor-derived, that young, healthy, angry, ready to fight gamma delta cell, and we put that into sick patients who have no gamma deltas and almost no immune system at that point, and they're suffering from various diseases. Right now, we're focusing on oncology, on antifungal, and we're expanding into other arenas.
I love it. Lots of stuff happening with you guys, and you guys are never sitting still here. Can't wait to see you in studio here in a couple weeks, Brian. His name is Brian Kobel, CEO, TC Biopharm Holdings. A little bit short on time today, but when he gets in studio, we're going to have him for a whole half hour to an hour, and we're going to talk about why this is one of the most important pieces of research coming forward, because we always forget about infectious diseases. Remember 2020?
Oh, what's the phrase, like health is lost on the youth, or beauty is lost on the youth, or something like that?
Youth is
lost
on the young.
Youth is lost on the youth.
I'm glad that we're stealing from the young and helping us as we get older.
I think it's age and treachery beats youth and inexperience.
Maybe that's what it is too.
Big Biz Show. We'll see you tomorrow.